Okay. Hello, everyone. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what can simply be referred to as a public relations nightmare, and that is Netflix and password sharing. So just a quick poll. How many of you know someone who either shares their Netflix password or gets it from someone else? Okay, so the majority of you. Obviously, Netflix is aware of this problem, and it is a problem. And speaking of polls, here's a poll for you from Reuters Ipsos, and it says that approximately 21% of 18 to 24-year-olds, so except for Dr. Journey, our age group, says that 21% of us share our passwords or get it from someone else. And so, approximately a quarter of us. Well, a separate poll from the Morning Consult says that 56% of 18 to 24-year-olds share their passwords. Oh, so about a quarter to almost over half of us share our passwords. And because of this, Netflix, I don't know why I keep pointing there, loses over $391 million a year, which is obviously a lot of money that they don't want to lose. And so the question is, how do you respond to this without making people upset? And so, Netflix's response. Here is the response I have from Netflix's chief financial advisor, David Wells, and which, as you can read here, he says, we could crack down on it, but you wouldn't suddenly turn all those folks to paid users, which is true. If you go hard at people that are getting their passwords from someone else, they're probably just going to become bitter and then not subscribe to Netflix anymore or find some other way to watch. And obviously this affects other companies too, like HBO, Hulu, Amazon Prime, stuff like that, or services like that. And so I have another quote from HBO's Executive Vice President of Global Distribution, in which she says essentially the same thing, that we could, but we can't because of it being such a sensitive topic, and that all they can really do is hope that eventually they will not get their passwords from other people anymore and start becoming paid users, which is a big gamble. And so a Parks Associate, which is a market research company, suggests that by 2019, Netflix and other companies could lose up to $550 million. So that's, which 391 to 550 doesn't sound like a lot, but considering that's in millions of dollars, that is a lot of money. This doesn't mean, however, that Netflix is not planning on combating the issue, because they have payment plans. And so as you can see here on these payment plans, they have basic, standard, and the premium, or what they refer to as the family plan. And so, as you can see, basic gets you standard definition, standard gets you high definition, and then I also put on here devices, like 1, 2. That doesn't mean that you can only have Netflix on one device. It means that's how many can stream simultaneously. So if you have the standard, which gives you 2 devices, and your mom wanted to watch a show over in Alabama, but you're here in OC trying to connect to Wi-Fi and watch a show on Netflix, you could both watch simultaneously, but only if you have the standard plan. It will not work with the basic plan. And I have the prices up there as well. I didn't have time to update the PowerPoint because approximately 2 hours ago they announced that the standard will be going from approximately $10 to $11 and premium from $12 to $14, but basic is staying the same. So sorry for not updating the PowerPoint. It was something I noticed like 15 minutes ago. So this doesn't mean that the problem is over and done with, because there's potential legal trouble. So some of you may already know about this. Approximately a year ago there was a Supreme Court case called the U.S. versus NoSol, and it basically ruled that password sharing is like a fraud, a federal crime. However, this doesn't necessarily apply to the everyday user, because it was worded very vaguely, and the case was specifically about password sharing, like for if you're in a business, like you can't give out company stuff that you're not authorized to, or that someone else is not authorized to. But the way they worded not the dissent, the way they worded their review of the case made it sound like it was going to apply to everyone, thanks to the wording of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. However, there is a light in the tunnel, and that is the words of Judge Stephen Reinhart, in which he says, as you can read here, I would hold that consensual password sharing is not the kind of hacking covered by the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. So, like I said before, while they could crack down on it, and now they have technically a legal basis to go on it, they're not going to because it would be a very bad public relations problem. So thank you all for listening, and hopefully you can all sleep a little bit better tonight knowing that you're not criminals.